I think we got to break down. We got to break down a few of the products because we kind of touched on them, but I don't want to get too far in before we actually unpack a couple. So, Paul, I'm going to stay with you. I want to talk about the. I think we're going to go with the cast lips and the heels. Again, I'm just saying. You see, I'm reading it off. I'm not an expert on the topic,
Sure
so
thing.
I'm going to hand it over to you to sort of break them down as a product line.
Appreciate it. Well, that's really where our roots are, or were when we first started off. We've been using cast lips, and the industry's been using cast lips for well over 30 years. It is not new technology by any means. The cast lip versus plate lip does offer longevity, and that's really where we placed a lot of our marbles in the beginning. And so, how are we going to go to market and differentiate ourselves in an area of business that's been active and working for 30 years? And nobody's really had any major complaints about the performance of that system, but nobody's
Right.
done anything to make it better. So Rhinowear took it upon themselves to embrace the idea of getting outside the box and doing something completely different that the industry's not done. And so we're pretty proud of the results that we've been able to obtain. We've differentiated ourselves in the market, and what we've done to make that happen is we've embedded some of the Rhinowear chrome white iron, and we've put it into the bottom side of the high wear surfaces of both the cast lips and the heels. And in doing so, we've been able to extend the life cycles up to 5 times. And those results are prevalent throughout our trading area. And so, as we reach out to dealers, the hardest sell is always the first sell. After that, the
Yeah.
product tends
Yeah.
to sell itself, so long as the customer has some measurable results and some kind of base to work from.
Right.
You know, but the cast lip and the heels have been the focus point of the development of the Rhinowear line, and it's worked very, very well. It's the chemistry, it's the profile, composition, and then you take all of those things and you add the chrome white iron that is embedded into there. We've increased those life cycles substantially. So historically, in order to maintain a weldability on a cast lip, you would not want to push the threshold of anything any greater than about 400 to 450 Bernal. After that, we start to have cracking, heat affected problems or zones. And so we've been able to keep the hardness down, and we've put the 700 Bernal product at the bottom where the lips need it most. So
Mm.
we focused on the highest wear areas and the centralized wear patterns within each of these areas in which we focus, putting the meat where it matters, if you will. And it's made all the difference.
Jamie, I think we need to touch on it as well because one of these pictures, I got a note on one of the pictures I saw that it had actually been, it was part of your welding program that you've launched at the Bucket Shop as well. I want to throw it over to you to quickly, we're going to talk about the other product lines and that, but I want to just talk a little bit about that program, the Bucket Shop, because I think it's really neat what you've done over there.
Oh, with pride. The timing's impeccable. We're literally wrapping up our second year of our Aboriginal women's welding training program, where we take women throughout Northern Ontario, put them through a crash course in welding in our own environment, and we bring in the Canadian Welding Bureau to apply practical tests and certify these ladies, of which 100% of them have gone through the program and attained at least one welding ticket. Really proud that three of the best performers over the last 2 years are still with us in full-time employment. And the remaining of the 44 plus women that have gone through the program, we've reached out to our mining sector partners and helped keep them employed in various capacities. So it's our small part to help the labor challenges that we're all experiencing. And I'll foreshadow that the program is about to get much bigger and much better and will encompass women, men, and youth, Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal alike. So we're really proud of the success, and it's gotten a lot of recognition from our mining partners and our political partners as well.
I have to say, as a company, and I've gotten to know it fairly well, is just the your as a company, your ability to find all these different streams that are important for what should make up a company is, and you're not a publicly traded company where, you're having to file reports and do all this sort of stuff, and you're doing it to be a good company. And I have a lot of respect for it, and I think a lot of people do. So thank you. The Just jumping back in, Paul, I also want to talk about the heel shrouds because we kind of touched on the last show, but and pardon my ignorance on this. I thought buckets came as buckets and that's they were, but you're actually welding these attachments on, and the Rhinowear is part of that lineup, right?
Absolutely. We could be taking an OEM bucket coming in a general purpose configuration, and it needs to be more ready for rock or more ready for the digging application that it's headed into. And there's a variety of them. And the Rhinowear products as a whole are quite easy and convenient to just place on the bucket in the specific areas where we need them. And we can take a general purpose bucket and we can give it that heavy duty beef up, we call it, in a short period of time, and whip it back onto the machine and back into service it will go. There's not too many buckets that leave our facility here that don't have a full complement of the Rhinowear products actually already installed. It's
Right.
how we differentiate ourselves in the market. We are not GP people. All right. We're not general purpose shop. We specialize in heavy duty, severe duty, and extreme service duty applications. In both for our Rhinowear and our rock applications and buckets and everything we do. As Jamie said, being centered in the middle of some of the toughest rock on the planet, what a prime location to test and develop products that industry can use and need.
Well,
Yeah, and actually,
Oh, yeah.
sorry, Jared.
No, go ahead.
If I could add, because I'm in the field quite a bit, it is quite something. Like Paul said, when you get an OEM bucket and this customer orders a brand new machine, you get a brand new bucket, and the customer turns to us and say, "Okay, we need this bucket with the Rhinowear Touch,"
Yeah.
and we bring it to the shop, a brand new bucket, dress it up. It's done up to a severe duty application, and it's very impressive. And some of the OEM reps, when they see their buckets back, wow, man, I
Look at
wish we
that.
could do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
And in some cases, if I could, it's gotten to the point now that the successes of the systems that we're installing now are driving the market in a new direction, whereas the customer is ordering a new machine, but they're ordering it without the bucket or
No, I was
specifying
wondering about that.
that
Yeah.
they want a bucket shop built
Yeah.
bucket. So that's entering the specs now of machines as they're being ordered on the OEMs. And we're happy to receive calls from those OEMs to, hang, XYZ bucket on there, dressed to the customer's specifications using the Rhinowear products.
And actually,
again-
Paul, if I
oh.
could, I'm sorry, Jared, I keep stepping on you.
No,
But-
that's why there's multiple of us on the show. Let's go ahead.
There's even one OEM member that we build under license, and they've come to embrace our technology. So we designed their bucket from scratch, and they go out the door to a severe duty Rhinowear spec, and it's something we're very proud of.
I was just going to ask, are the sizes, is it the size that matches up the bucket, or are there different grades that go on as well?
It's actually a combination of both.
Okay.
We have the standard duty to run parallel with industry. And then we've got the Rhinowear version, which is your heavy duty and extreme duty offerings.
Yeah.
And so we do offer both, and they are offered right now in three sizes. We offer our heels in the 30 pound, the 40, the 85, and we also offer the 150 pound for your open pit shovels and things
Okay.
like that. And again, they are fully dressed with all of the right wear materials on the outside to give them that extended life cycle we've already touched on.